We have already learned about that. There are basically two types of letters, that is a formal and informal. In this section, we will concentrate on the formal letters, what should be their structure, how to compose the letter in a better way, how to express in a best ways with the good ideas, how to start and how to end the letters. These are all things we shall discuss in this chapter thoroughly. So at the end of this lesson, you will be definitely able to understand that this is the way how the ICSE wants a student has to compose the formal letters. So take a look at that how the formal letters has to be composed in a better and the proper way. Before starting this, we have to know what are the formal letters and to whom it is written and what are its subject. So first of all, you have to know about the difference between the formal and informal letter. You cannot make a mistakes in that. If you do, everything goes on wrong. So you have to be very vigilant enough to find out whether the given letter is formal or informal. That's the first choice. And once you got an idea that it's a formal letter, how to compose that. Let's take a look at what are the formal letters. Formal letters are official letters. So this word will help you that what is formal letters. Formal letters are the letters especially written to the officials, and they have a plenty of subjects. Such examples, they can be written for inquiry of anything, plane, train, bookings. Ordering, you want to order some books, some equipments. Transfer of money from one place to another. We can have some references. We can write the formal letters for requesting something. You can write something letters for bookings, just like ticket bookings for the plane and for the bus, for the train. You want to report the complaints regarding the local problems, regarding the personal problems, and apology. Apology in the sense in order to say sorry. So there are plenty of subjects can be dealt in the formal letters. Formal letters are also called as business letters. And business letters are automatically in the formal tone. Now formal tone in the sense, when we write such kind of letters, it should not sound too personal nor too intimate. You cannot write anything personal in the formal letters because you are writing these letters to the official persons. So keep it in mind that nothing personal should be added in the formal letters. And what is the most important factor in writing the formal letters? That is setting your layout correctly. Layout in the sense, the structure we call as. If you make a mistake in that, the general idea of your formal letter goes on missing. So person may get some kind of a bad overview about it. So we need to know about the structure and the layout of the formal letters properly. Second point you have to keep it in mind, that is keeping to the point. Write up to the point what the letter means. Do not write in an overview or extra information into the letters. And maintaining the necessary formal tone. Formal tone in the sense the language must be formal. These three things if you maintain properly, you are going to present the formal letter in a best way, and there are the chances to get the nice marks for the same. So this is what the general idea you have to keep it in mind about while writing the formal letters. Layout of a formal letter. Layout in the sense the structure. ICSE board has prescribed a proper structure to deal into the formal letters. You must not deviate from that. You must write according to the structure given out. Already we had discussed into the class and we are following this from the last so many years. There are no changes in that. You can follow the same, but then too Here in this chapter we can overlook about that how the letters layout has to be written, especially the formal letter. First, the right. Now here is a layout or a structure of a formal letter. ICSE has given a specimen for the formal letter and that we should strictly follow, because the letter layout or structure has a marking scheme. So we must not make a mistake while writing the layout of the letter, because we may miss some marks. Every part of the structure follows the marks. So we need to be very careful about that while applying the layout. So get a hint about what ICSE expect as a layout for the formal letters, and we must not skip anything from that. With the example we will try to understand that. So in the layout, first it says we have to use writer's address as written in the same way in the personal letter. Personal letters means informal letters. How we write the writer's address, we call it as generally sender's address. It has to be same in formal letters. So now I will be just showing you the layout or formal letter structure that you can take a look at, and simultaneously I will be reading the points from this section, so you will get a more idea about that. Let's take a look at how the writer's or the sender's address must be written. This is the layout or structure of formal letter. Writer's or the sender's address must be in either 4 or 5 lines, not more than that. It has to be appropriate, and when we write this letter address, the first letter of every word has to be capital. You can take a look at here. So it must not exceed 4 or 5 lines. Then after that we need to give a space and look at the date. Date format, ICSE strictly says follow the given date format. Rather than this, do not try to use any other format of date. This means example 30th May, 2020. So comma and 30th, that has to be kept it in mind for a proper way. Next, after finishing the date, we need to give a space once again, and then comes the address of a company or a person to whom we are writing a letter. That is generally we call it as a receiver's address. Take a look at the example. That also can take 3 or 4 lines without adding the word to. So this is how we can write down the receiver's address, that is the official address. Soon after finishing the receiver's address, we can give a space, and after that comes the way of greetings. Greetings we call it as salutations. So greeting here is a little bit different than we write in the personal letter. And whenever we write greeting for the formal letter, it has to be always dear sir, or if we know the official person is a madam, we can write dear ma'am for that. Rather than this, it is not expected to use any other format of greetings. For example, respected sir, like this are not allowed. And suppose if you are writing to the business institution or the firm, we can write salutations as dear sirs. But no other format is accepted. No other format is accepted by the board or by the council. And immediately after following the greetings, we should use comma. So these are the 4 ways basically you have to apply in such a way. Then comes subject of the letters. And when we write the subject, actually it has to be written in the middle space, and it has to be between the salutation and first paragraph of body of the letter. This is salutation and this is first paragraph of body of letter In between that we have to use the word letter subject, and it has to be underlined. The heading makes the filling of the letter easier. So if you write, it has to be heading in a proper way. But in ICSE specimen, we can see that it is not mentioned at all. So we kept it as an optional. It's not a compulsory one to write it down. If you do not write, then too okay, it doesn't carry any marks. But rest all part of the formal letters or informal letter carry the marks in a proper way. Then comes the body of the letters. An immediate reference is made in the opening sentence of your letter to previous communications. When you start writing the body of the letter, if you have already written the letter or received one letter, then we can give a reply in the first line itself or in a first sentence. And if it is not given any reference, or first time you are writing the letter to the formals or to the officials, we did not to give any previous reference. So that you have to keep it in mind. The reference has to be given if the letter previously has been communicated. Okay. Then the body of the letter may begin at a normal distance. In the sense, we have somewhere margin here, and when we start writing it, we can start writing with the margin itself, and then we can write down the body of the letter. When we write, make sure that in the body of the letter at least few paragraphs has to be made for the better understanding of your ideas and the concepts that we should follow strictly. We have to divide the body of the letter in a proper ways, proper paragraphs, and then according to the content, according to the topic, we should write down the body of the letter in a proper way with the proper expressions. The concluding sentence normally refers to the main topic of letters. Means after finishing the main part of the body of the letters, when we come to the conclude of the letters, we can see here the concluding sentence should refer to the main topic. Whatever your topic is about, make sure that you will just end your body of the letter with the same sentence referring with the main topic. And then comes what? The subscriptions, that is the endings. For subscriptions in formal letters, we have to use either yours faithfully or yours truly. Rather than this, do not use any other word for the subscriptions. So after immediately finishing yours faithfully or yours truly, we have to use comma as usual. And soon after finishing that, we can have the full name because we are referring here formal letters. This is how the layout has to be maintained in a proper way. 10. So if a small mistakes made, definitely some marks may lose. So follow the structure in a strict way, and then we can concentrate on the body of the letter. This is how the structure or the layout of the formal letter has to be kept it in mind and studied in a better way. Now we shall take a look at what are the points to be kept in mind while attempting the body of the letter in a very proper way, and we can express with the formal tone. What are